Alright, before I say anything, I know that what I'm going to be talking about in this video is going to be very, very, very controversial. So I just encourage you guys to stay with me here and just hear me out, okay? Until the end. And if you guys do still disagree with everything I say, even after all of that, or if you just disagree with the one thing I say, I highly suggest that you go down in the comments below and you tell me what you disagree with or what you agree with or what you would change, right? Because as you can see by the title, in this video, I really need your help. And what I mean by that is that I really need your feedback on my ideas, and I need your ideas as well. Because what I'm going to be talking about in this video is a topic that has been highly, highly debated in the world of Tower Defense Simulator on Roblox. And that topic is whether or not event towers and event content should be permanently added in the game so that you can get it anytime you want, right? Like, for example, you can get the Gladiator Tower whenever you want. You can get the, Cryomancer Tower whenever you want. You can get a Toxic Gunner whenever you want. Or you can get literally whatever from the limited tower and limited skin section whenever you want. And obviously, it's gonna be a lot harder to get than if you were just there during the events, because that's at least my plan, because I still want to make it a system where just playing the game during an event and getting your towers and skins that way would be a lot more rewarding and a lot simpler than if you missed out on the event and you have to grind it all these years later. And for me personally, I'm a person that believes that all content within a game, whether it's from events or not, should be available in a game pretty much year-round. You should be able to get it whenever possible, because and that especially goes for Tower Defense Simulator, because in Tower Defense Simulator, about 25% of all towers are locked behind events in the game. There's currently 44 towers in the game, and 12 of them are locked behind events, which means that if you're a new player who just joins the game right now, 25% of all content in the game, a quarter of all content in the game, will never, ever, 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 ever be accessible to you. The only way it'll be accessible to you is if somehow one of the developers, decides that it's time to throw a tower into the Game Pass section of the game, and then if you have the Robux for it, you can buy it. But if you don't have the Robux, then you're screwed, right? So that's really my problem here. And that's just talking about the towers. That's not even talking about all the skins that are locked behind events, because at least half the skins in Tower Defense Simulator are locked behind events, and if you weren't there for the events, you can't get those skins. But obviously that's way less of an issue than not being able to get the towers, because skins are purely cosmetic, and they don't really improve your game all that much. It's still nice to have them and everything, but it's way more important to be able to have the access to all the towers. And again, I know this sounds controversial, because if these event towers are available all year round, then what even is the point of hosting events in the first place, right? If the towers are just gonna be there all year round, right? Like, why not just make a tower and just put it in the shop and just be done with it, right? Like, why not just make a completely new tower like the Brawler or the Engineer or the Warden, for example? And well, I think a reason for that is because, again, as I mentioned briefly in the beginning of this video, I want to make a system where if you actually play the game during the said events, then the grind for the towers and skins would have been way more rewarding, way more fun, and way more easy. Maybe not way more easy, but quite a lot easier than it is if you just started out playing the game today, and if you just started trying to get all your event towers and event skins. And one of the ideas I have for that is that, again, I'm just like vaguely spitballing here. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? And that's exactly why I need your help. I need your help to kind of figure out a plan here for how this system could work, or if it could work, because the problem with this concept that I'm talking about right now is that people have been talking about it for a long, long, long time, right? People have been trying to come up with ideas of how to bring event towers back and how to, still, and how to make it so that all the content in the game is still accessible to new players, And most of their ideas have been pretty bad, if not terrible, because it's a really, really complicated matter here. Like, for example, here I'm gonna talk about a few ideas that I heard. The first idea that I heard is that you could just have a special, like a special area in the shop in the game where you can just buy the event tower straight up for like gems or coins if you weren't able to get them during an actual event, right? And I don't think that's really a good idea. Because if you're just able to buy all the event towers for gems and coins, then like they wouldn't really feel all that special, in my opinion. It definitely would fall into that category where the towers would be way easier to get if you just play during the event, but it would be way harder to get if you're a new player. But still, those towers wouldn't feel that special after an event is over, if you get what I'm saying, because you're just getting these towers with the normal currency in the game. And the other suggestion that's been really floating around a lot that I've heard is that you could have like seasonal event rotations, right? So, for example, every winter, one of the old bosses, or all of the old bosses in old old winter events come back, right? Or like every time Easter comes around, all the Easter events that have ever been a part of the game come back. Or, like, for example, when it's spring, the Gladiator event comes back. And that sounds like a good idea on paper, right? But in practicality, it's not really a good idea because the thing about those towers and those events back then is that, like, for example, the Gladiator 2019 event was balanced around the balance of the towers back in 2019. And so if that event just came back today and the developers just threw it in the game and said, here you go, guys, you can beat this whenever, right? If that was the case, then the Gladiator event would just be laughably easy to beat. Because back at the beginning of Tower Defense Simulator's lifespan, most of the towers were way, 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 way weaker than they are right now. So, like, literally right now, you could probably beat the Gladiator event with just a freaking scout and a sniper, right? And so that obviously wouldn't be a good idea. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that there have been a lot of ideas that have been tossed around the community for how we could actually get event towers back. And none of them were really good or really worked. And so that's why I want your guys' help. If you guys have any ideas, you don't have to have fully fleshed out ideas, but if you have any ideas on how event towers could be brought back to TDS forever while still making it fair for the players that were actually there during an event, then I encourage you guys to drop your ideas down in the comments below. But I'm personally gonna tell you what my criteria would be. I don't really have like a solid idea yet. I have a little group of people that I'm trying to come up with. I have a little group of people that I'm brainstorming ideas with, right? I have a group of people where we're actually trying to come up with an idea of how all this could work and, be fair to both the new and the old players. And our idea is this. This is like our guideline of how we can bring back these event towers while making it fair for both new and old players, as I said. And that our criteria is that it needs to be, as I said before, it needs to be harder for you to get those towers now and those skins now than it was back when the event was actually active. And second of all, you actually have to have some kind of unique concept on how to get these towers that still makes these towers feel special, right? Because if you just put these towers in like the shop and just sold them for like gems and coins, then they wouldn't really feel special anymore and they wouldn't really feel like event towers anymore, So there has to be some kind of a unique way to get these towers without just straight up bringing all the events back. Because again, if you brought all the events back, they would be horrifically unbalanced, right? Because so many towers have changed, and so many towers got buffed, and so many towers got nerfed, that if you just brought all the events back, a lot of them would either be laughably easy or fucking impossible to beat, right? And obviously, asking the TDS developers to just balance these modes along with the towers, and just update these modes like every month or something, is just super unreasonable. That would like the TDS development team would need to be like 10 times bigger and work 10 times as many hours, right? And it's just not profitable, or it's just not worth it, is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, there needs to be some kind of a way to still make these event towers feel like event towers after an event is over, and not just make them feel like, I don't know, hardcore towers, or like regular ass towers that you buy for coins, And yeah, so that's the criteria we came up with. We have a couple of ideas. I'm not going to mention them just yet. I'm not going to mention the ideas that we have just yet, because I really want to hear your guys' input on this and what you think about this. And again, if you guys completely disagree with me, tell me why in the comments. If you agree with me, also tell me why. If you have any ideas, tell me. Basically, tell me anything you think is wrong or right about this video down in the comments below. Because again, the thing is, I just really feel like it's unfair for new players that a quarter of all the content in the game is locked away forever for them, just because they were late to finding out about the game. And this problem is going to get worse and worse as the years go on, because there's going to be more events, there's going to be more towers, and like, I don't know, in like another 5 years, half of all the towers are going to be locked behind events. And they're just really not fair to new players. I mean, the thing is that, let's say, for example, that I only found out about, let's say that you, for example, only found out about TDS through this video, right? And you wanted to play it, and you wanted to see what it was like. Well, if you joined the game and you want to play it, then like half the skins and a quarter of all the towers would just be locked away for you forever, and you would have very little variety in how you want to play the game anymore, because there are plenty of towers, of event towers, that are useful. And sure, there are a lot of them that are just bad these days, but they're not going to stay bad forever. They're obviously going to get buffed or nerfed or rebalanced in some way. It might take a while. I'm not debating that. It might take a while for them to get rebalanced, but they will. And so, it's just not fair to punish a player for not playing your game the second it came out, right? That's just not fair, in my opinion. Like, I don't think I even really need to explain it, but it's just unfair to punish your player for something like that is completely and utterly out of their control, Like, I'm all for punishing players for making stupid decisions or whatever, but if you're punishing them just because they didn't play your game on day one, then that is really, really stupid, man. But anyways, yeah, that's all I have for this video. Again, tell me everything you guys agree with or disagree with, or want to suggest in the comments down below. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya, and I hope to get some good conversation out of this. But yeah, goodbye for now, everybody. See ya.